had the power to fly like this without no pack, without no suit. We ain't gonna need to be taken up and then jump out the plane. We gonna take off from the ground. The Lord is gonna give us power to fly, man.
Isaiah 40 and 28. Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting power, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary. There is no searching of his understanding. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. I'll read it again. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. The Lord is going to renew us like we were in the ancient world. I'm going to show you examples of how we were in the ancient world when we were in our strength. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles, meaning we're going to be able to fly. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. The Lord is going to renew our strength. Now I'm going to get another scripture. Let's go to the book of Psalms 103. Psalms 103 and 5. It says, who satisfieth thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagles. You see that? Who satisfieth thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagles. Didn't we read that they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength? They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. In other words, in the kingdom, like I was saying before, when we went into 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, about the celestial and the terrestrial, in the kingdom, we're going to be what you call extraterrestrial. In other words, let me give you another name for it. Superman. If you ever watched the movie Superman, Superman, by the way, is an Israelite. What was his Kryptonian name? Kal-El. Kal-Allah, which in the Hebrew is all power. Did not he have all power? His name was Kal-El. His father's name was Jor-El. That's a Hebrew name. Jor-El, Kal-El. Those were Israelites. That whole movie is about the children of Israel. And that's the type of power that we're going to have, believe it or not. That's what that movie is all about. Kal-El, which is his Kryptonian name, that's evil. And notice he had a mantle. When you read about different prophets, especially Elijah, Elijah wore a mantle, which is a cape. When Elijah took his mantle, he smote the waters. And you go back and read about it in the history. That's Israelite God. Israelites, we had mantles, which that's a cape. But it says here, Psalms 103 and 5, who satisfieth thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagles. Our strength is going to be renewed through the power of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Now, let me give you an example of how we're going to be renewed. We're going to be renewed and restored back to that ancient stature that we had back in the ancient world. So now let me get Leviticus 26. Leviticus 26 and 8. It says, and 5 of you shall chase 100. 5 of us are going to be able to beat down 100 men. Just 5 men. That's not no regular man. A regular man can't do that. A regular man, you have a problem fighting one guy, let alone 5 of you taking on 100. 5 of us is going to whoop 100's ass. 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight, and your enemy shall fall before you by the sword. That is the type of strength that's going to be renewed in us, where we're going to be, like I said, in the ancient world, we were like gods. But what happened is when we went against the Most High and the generations coming after, every generation that came after, we lost stature, we lost strength. Every generation up until this point in present time, we're just weak as hell, man. We're in a total low and a weak state right now. Let me go to 2 Samuel, the 23rd chapter. I'm giving you examples of how the Lord is going to renew us, and he's going to put us back on that level. 2 Samuel 23, and I'm going to start at the 8th verse. 2 Samuel 23 and 8. These be the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Tachmonite that sat in the seat, chief among the captains, The saying was, Adino, the Eznite, he lifted up his spear against 800 whom he slew at one time. So this one man lifted up his spear against 800 men, and he slew 800 men. A regular man can't do that. The Lord is going to renew us with that ancient world stature and that vigor. It says, and after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Ahohite, one of the three mighty men with David, when they defied the Philistines that were gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away. He arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary, and his hand clave unto the sword. And the Lord wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to spoil. So let me jump down to the 18th verse now. 2 Samuel 23 and 18 down. And Abishai, the brother of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was chief among the three mighty men. And he lifted up his spear against 300 and slew them, and had the name among the three. He was like the mightiest of the top three mighty men. He lifted up his spear against 300 men, and he slew them. And he was not most honorable of the three, therefore he was their captain. Howbeit he attained not unto the first three. And Benaniah, the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done many acts, he slew 2 lion-like men of Moab. He went down also and slew a lion in the midst of a pit in the time of snows. These are our foreparents in the ancient world. This is what the Lord is going to restore unto us and make us gods again, or make us powers again. We're going to have that power. That's for the Israelite man right there. These stories I'm reading that these men were fighting, they were fighting against Hamites. They were fighting against Egyptians. They were fighting against Canaanites. So that's just another example of how the Lord is going to raise us up. Now I'm going to read another scripture. This is another one here in Zechariah. So let me get the book of Zechariah, the 12th chapter. Zechariah 12 and 8. It says, in that day shall the Lord, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. So the feeblest man among us, the Lord is going to make him mighty like our forefather David. This is the feeble man among us. He that is feeble among them shall be as David. And the house of David shall be as the Most High, as the angel of the Lord before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek and destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. Yahawah is going to seek and destroy all the nations that came against Jerusalem. And we're going to be raised up. We're going to be given that power. We're going to be given that stature. And in the kingdom of heaven, like I said, we're going to reproduce. The Lord is going to give us that power, and we're going to reproduce.
Yahawah.